Hello, welcome to all. So, on this channel, we have been listening to experts who are involved in mental health of the family and child. So, today we have Mamta ma'am, Miss Mamta Bhosle, who is a special educator, who is an expert teaching children with special needs. She has been conducting lectures for masses on topics of parenting, education, and so on. She is also a chairperson of an organization named as Apla Katta. Along with this, she has trained shadow teachers to work with children with special needs. She has overall experience of more than 16 years. She is currently working with reputed schools of Thane and clinics of Airoli. She was one of the first four candidates who did their B.Ed in autism spectrum disorder in the whole Southeast Asia. So it is our honor that you are here, ma'am, with us. So it's my pleasure to have you here today. So,
Thank,
ma'am, welcome on our channel. And to
thank
begin
you
with,
so much.
yes,
Yeah.
and to begin with, we would like to know what is exactly this special education or remedial education.
Thank you, Sonali, for inviting me for this platform. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll start with the special education. Special education means it's there is a, if you see in kids, there are differences. So some kids have their academics level and their potentials. So there is a gap between their academic studies and their potentials. So special educators basically completes these gaps, and they work on the child's ability, and they help the child to reduce this gap and achieve his academic progress. So special education educators basically works in a different way. They don't work on the academic level, they work on the skills basically. And while doing that, they use different strategies, different approaches, so that child will have easy way of learning. And another thing, they teach the way the child wants. Okay, so that is a special education. Okay, so special education, another point of view of this is they work from simple to complex and from concrete to abstract. So what is the
Mhm.
meaning of this? Like concrete means whatever the child can feel. Suppose they are doing addition. So in concrete object, with the objects, if they do addition, they will learn it better. Okay,
Mhm.
so first do teach addition with concrete object, with something which they can feel. Then do it on the uh, with pictures. Then do it on the paper with numbers.
Mhm.
So the strategies goes like this, from concrete to abstract. Numbers are something abstract for them. So first, try to do whichever the concept you are explaining, in whichever the subject, you have to go from simple to complex or from concrete to abstract. So try to make use of what we call it, multi-sense approach. So that
Mhm.
is means when your all the senses are involving in learning. So multisensory approach is very good for kids. So they will learn better. They learn from their, they are listening also at the time. They are verbalizing the thing at the same time. They are doing the things. So they will learn
Touching
better
and
from it.
all the senses are involved in the
Feeling and
learning and
feeling.
not just
Yes,
writing and looking at numbers.
correct.
Mhm.
So that is very helpful for them. So multisensory approach try to use with your kids, and this concrete to abstract hierarchy, which will help them to learn the concept better.
Mhm.
And that is the key of
Sure.
special education,
Mhm. Yeah.
basically.
That is very interesting, ma'am. So I think we will come back on this topic of what
Yes.
you said, that potential level and academic level. It can get confusing a little bit for our parents. But
Okay.
before that, I would like to ask you that as an expert, do you think that learning level is affected or overall learning is affected because of this online learning?
Yeah, actually, as we see, this is a year of learning. Okay, if you see, everybody is learning different skills, different things. Okay, so it is, from my point of view, it is an opportunity in district case, because people are learning different skills and adapting themselves for this situation. Same thing is happening with the special education also, or academics learning as well. Teachers as well as children are learning new different skills apart from studies, and
Mm.
which help them to grow in as an individual. Okay, so if you say experimentation in learning is happening, they are allowing their whatever the knowledge they have gained so far, they are utilizing that in their environment. Parents involvement have been increased. Okay, new ideas, out of the box thinking is taking place in this situation, because the kids, even kids with special needs are also are, cooperating so much on online sessions, which we have never expected from them, and things are changing. So yeah, we are learning new technology, making good use of the technology. Even the kids are learning different ways in technology, and we are so that is a positive thing happening. But yet at the same time, that physical touch, or that bonding is not there. So kids, or even we are as a special educator, not so happy with this situation. We want things to resolve as early as possible, and we can start physical teaching, or one-to-one sessions that way. But yeah, so these are what we say, two sides of the situation.
Okay. So, ma'am, any other harm or any other difficulties you think that this online education has brought to children, which can be controlled by parents at home?
Yeah, see, if we go to see, and if I'm also teaching online in this
Mm-hmm.
pandemic situation. um, yeah, there is now, as in classroom or in one-to-one sessions, we have a total control on child's behavior, child's academics, or whatever the learning. But now the situation is different. We don't have that control on kids performance. So the parents involvement is must here, and everything is in their hand. So I feel that's why we have also started webinars and all for the parents, because I feel we have to equip parents now, because they are handling kids in this pandemic, and they are handling for 24 hours, and for them also it is a new thing to learn and how to teach kids. So far it was just they just have to complete the homework and all, but now it is learning. Concept teaching is also happening, though we are
Mm-hmm.
online, but they at the same time they are also working with the kids. So this thing is little bit so we have to yeah, it is a problem, but we have to take a solution for it, and we have to equip parents for this,
Mm-hmm.
and we have to teach them how to deal with the kids, how to as a special educators, how we are doing in the classroom. So same way, these strategies and whatever online things they also need to learn. So that is a solution. Yeah, you asked me key what are the problems. So these are the problem parents are
Mm-hmm.
facing. They don't know how to teach the kids, and so so I feel that is a solution, that we have to equip them. They need to enroll for the webinars, or the
Mm-hmm.
or as a special educator or counselor, if you can do some programs for them, where they can learn some tips or some strategies to deal with the kids. I think this problem, at least they will get little help out of it.
Right. It is a great point, ma'am, that you have shared because so far I think most of the parents were not so involved in the child's education. Completing
Correct.
homework is different than having responsibility of all together teaching the syllabus. And as you rightly said, parents will have to take those special efforts to enroll themselves also in some webinar or learn
Yeah.
or observe their child and then understand how the child is learning, and then accordingly they will have to teach their child, because even the schools or even the whoever educator there is, they are going to teach from online platforms. So the responsibility becomes parents to equip those children with whatever resources they have at their home. My next question is in line with this, and about what you were telling us about the potential level and academic level. So, ma'am, will you please elaborate that for us? What is the difference between these two levels?
Okay. I would like to give example. Suppose the child is in fourth standard. Okay. So the academic level is whatever the child has, the syllables, the portion, whatever the academic expectations from the fourth standard. So that
Mhm.
is the academic level. Okay. So fourth standards, English, math, whatever the concepts and jo bhi hai learning, that is a academic level. But suppose the fourth standard child, what are the expectations? Like the child should read the paragraph lesson, child should comprehend lesson and answer the questions, or there are math concepts like word problems, multiplications and all that thing. Okay. So but if the child has issues or if the child has special needs, the child may have difficulties uh, learning this academic concepts or
Mhm.
reading writing skills. Maybe he is at the level of word reading or simple sentences reading. Okay, so he's not able to read fourth standard lessons
Mhm.
or chapters. He's not able to read because he's at his level of reading is at the word and sentence level. Same thing happened with maybe with the maths. Suppose the child in fourth standard are doing multiplication division, but child is at the addition level.
Mhm.
So it is very difficult if you teach child the concepts of multiplication where he has not the prerequisite is not achieved, and we are just forcing him to do the fourth standard level. It's no use actually. So as a special educator, we do assessment, and then we find out the baseline of the child, where he's lying, like in reading area, where is his baseline.
Capacity.
Suppose,
Mhm.
yeah, where is his capacity, where is that right now? Is he at word level, is he at sentence level, or is he able to comprehend what he is reading? Even
Mhm.
same happens with maths. We assess the child and we understood that the child is at addition level or subtraction level. He is understanding this, but he is not understanding multiplication and division. So then we start from that basic level and see, because of this gap, but naturally child's confidence level is also goes down. So
Mhm.
to build that, we start with the whatever he knows. Suppose he knows the addition, yes, we do that thing, so the child will, yeah, I can do it. This approach comes, and then slowly gradually you increase the difficulty level. You teach them different strategies to do the addition. You use color concept, you use different strategies for addition. Suppose we have to do subtraction, so what is the prerequisite of subtraction, so we complete that thing, and slowly gradually we achieve, and slowly we reach to multiplication or division level, that is a fourth standard expectations. Same thing with reading. If the child is at word level, we teach him reading simple sentences. Slowly we increase the complexity of the sentences, then slowly paragraph, then small close passages, then reading comprehensions, and slowly he will achieve the academics level. Yeah, this process takes a long time, but yeah, things develops. Child gets the confidence of reading or solving maths, and see, reading is the main thing where child requires in all the subjects. So we
Mhm.
so that's why the special educators focus on skills rather than teaching academic subjects like tuition teachers.
Mhm.
Sometimes people get confused. They even parents, they come and tell us that teach geography, teach history, geography. Yes, we do handle that subject also, but we don't teach as a teach that subject. We give them study skills, how to
Mhm.
compact the subjects, in so that the child will easily remember the information of that subject. So we teach study skills in that. So this is the difference between academics. So fourth standard is the academics level, and the child's capacity, child, uh, potential is the level where the child is actually, and then we try to fill in the gaps.
Okay, that sounds like amazing thing which you do, and I think this role has become very important nowadays because we observe very frequently that such gaps exist. And
Yes.
also, I would also like to add into this that for our parents, that having this gap is not something same as having disorder as such, right? Disorder diagnosis happens on another level, so just because your child is having some lag, it does not mean that there is a huge challenge that we are having. So, ma'am, do you recommend that parents also have that understanding whether the child is having some lag or not? So that in time we can fill in that gap with the help of special educator, and especially in times when parents are only the ones who are supposed to take a lot of efforts, will that help
Correct.
them to know whether their child is having any lag?
Actually they should know, and the parents are the first observers. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
they should come up. Now the awareness is so much that parents are coming, and they are saying that yes, my child is facing these problems, but at the same time they are little bit scared about the labelings, like
Mm-hmm.
learning disability, autism, and all these disorders. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they understood that the child is having some issues, and the child is not able to perform in the way he should, or sometimes the capacity, abilities are there, but still the child is not able to perform. That happens in learning disabilities. So so they understood, but they don't understand why it's happening, what is the
Mm-hmm.
causes behind it, why the child is performing this way. When he knows, where they understood that he has a good intelligence, they say he can do ये ऐसे कर सकता है, वैसे कर सकता है, but सिर्फ studies में ये नहीं करता. So they come up with their ideas that he is lazy, he doesn't want to do things, or something like that. But that uh, why answer is not there with them. So that's why they goes into some other line. But
Direction.
if yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so if we, that's what I said, if we do some awareness programs, webinars, and if pair see, people are doing nowadays in lockdowns, many people are doing this such kind of things, but parents should come and join things and learn from things. And the nowadays webinars and everything that are happening has very minimal charges.
Yes.
I know, because it's a, yeah, because I know for parents it's difficult, as if they have going through a lot of difficulties, economical issues and everything. But still, if you can attain, and even online, if you can see whatever the issues that your child is facing, what strategies we can do, so that will help you and your child.
And I guess this skill will remain with them. So this skill is not necessarily limited to the lockdown period. Even further, they
Correct.
can be with their
Correct.
children, and they can teach their children even in future. So it will be an
Absolutely.
asset for them in a way to have those skills. So thanks
Yes.
for elaborating that importance of attending webinars and learning these skills. So that is a good thing that you have suggested to our audience. So, ma'am, are there any quick tools which you can share with us, which parents can use to understand what is the current level of their child?
See, for that, even what we do
Mm-hmm.
as a special educators, we don't, I mean, we can't use standardized testing. As
Mm-hmm.
Sonali, only psychologists can do the standardized testing and assessment. First, I would suggest that if you feel that your child has some issues, or some child is not performing well, or if you observe something, go and discuss with the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if your school is providing a counselor, go and meet counselor. You are getting free, or sometimes it is chargeable, but you go and meet to the counselors, take solution for the problem, what you can do further. Okay, then go for assessment and testing. Nowadays it is not possible, yeah, but online teaching is happening, so you can always approach to the counselor
Reach
and
out.
teachers as well. Yeah, but suppose at home you can, you ask me what how they will assess their child. So for that, you so the child is at fourth standard level, and you know the child is not able to read or do the concept of fourth standard. You take third standard. If you have third standard syllabus, or if you have third standard
Book.
textbook,
Mm-hmm.
then take some content, some words from the third standard, uh, take words from the first lessons, middle lessons, and ending lessons, and take few words, take dictation of those words, see whether your child is performing or
Mm-hmm.
no. Then take reading comprehension on same third standard textbooks. Then you can do some maths related, you can give a thing. And if you feel that your child is not able to do that also,
Mm-hmm.
then go one
Second
standard
standard.
again low, so second
Mm-hmm.
standard. And you can understand, as a parent you will able to understand where your child is exactly at which level. And that
Mm-hmm.
will be the good thing, where you will understand the potential and the weaknesses and strength of the child. And from there you can start your as we say remediation, or your working, you can start your working from that point.
Right. Because even I see that so many parents now are confused whether to complete the writing work of the school, which school is giving right now, whether to push my child to do all of that homework and all those assignments, or whether I can take my child and sit down and teach him reading, writing, and maths. So I think from your conversation also, I think the audience will be able to understand that working on these base skills, working on these skills is very much important than just finishing the homework, completing the assignments, because it is going to be of no use for the child right now.
Correct,
So,
Sonali. Because otherwise, it will not fill up those gaps. It will remain same, and it will
mm,
increase rather than
yes.
decreasing. It will increase as the child will go to fifth standard, and his level is at the second standard only. And if you are not
Mm,
working on that uh, thing, the things will go haywire.
right. And I guess
If the
even the challenges go on increasing. So the gap is increasing, but even the other emotional difficulties go on
emotional, yes,
increasing, and then it becomes
correct,
very difficult to work. So I think our parents can be really watchful on what is their child's base level or current level of learning. They can word it anyhow, but the current level, finding that current level and working on that becomes very important, right? So maybe
correct,
here they
correct,
can assign some time where they will just work on the base level, and the other time where they are maybe completing the worksheets. While even completing the worksheets, they can work on the base level, right? But I think that they
correct,
will get the hang of it as they become more and more aware. They spend more and more active time with the child, right?
correct,
Because just
correct.
sitting with a child and attending the screen does not mean that they are actively taking part in the education, right? And I'm
Actually,
sure whenever they need any help, remedial educators like you are always available. So they just, as you also mentioned, that once they also start actively seeking about this knowledge, once they start initiating dialogue from their side with teachers, educators, they start attending webinars, I think they will have a lot more information on their hands
inform-
on how to
correct.
go about it. So that's a really wonderful thing that you have shared. One more last question I had to you, ma'am. Are there any three quick tips to make this online learning easy? So, apart from parents' interaction or parents' involvement in learning, and apart from other things that you have mentioned, are there any three quick tips that you can give to our children as well as parents?
Okay. There are different apps which they can use, for reading, for learning concepts, and it is there are different games also available. So
Mhm.
as we are doing online sessions, even we as a teachers, we are using uh, those things. Okay, so they can use there, and there are free apps available on the net, so you can go, that helps learning better. Even there are different games that they can do it. That is the first thing that they can do. Second, uh, online as we say, it is very difficult to sit on the screen and grasp knowledge. So for that, they need to have proper structure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, proper structure in the sense their routine should be set. Whatever the timings are of the classes or everything, you make a timetable of that, and they should understand that my class will be at this time and something. Even for suppose the child with autism, they don't, they learn from visuals. So if you can make a visual schedule or something like that for them, so it is easy for them, and they understood that after this I have this session or I have this class. Okay, and their routine should be set. And don't just I have observed that 9 o'clock का session है और 8:30 8:30 को उठाया बच्चों को बैठा दिया. That
Mm-hmm.
should not happen. We have to make the child realize that this is a school, though we are not present in a school physically, but it is, and take it seriously. So make, if you can, if the child can wear the uniform, that's great. Otherwise, proper clothes, proper sitting arrangement, where the child will sit properly, the desk will be at the proper level, he's at the good position, his body structure should be proper, body position should be proper, so he will able to focus properly. There should be minimal distraction, like tv, kabhi kabhi tv on rehta hai ye wo, so that try to reduce all these things so that the child will able to focus on online sessions. So that is one thing. There are apps. Another thing, you are getting time now. The child is not in a school for 5 hours. So as you said earlier, they used to have difficult level ki when to do academics and when to do the skill
Right, right.
things. Okay, so now you have time because of school timings are reduced. Like you have only 2 to 3 hours, I think so. Uh,
Yes, yes.
School. So for that 2 hours you can use for teaching them skills. Okay, and while teaching that, suppose I will give you some tips for readings as well. Suppose you want to teach them sight words, tell them to write the words on the chart or on the paper, and just stick those paper on the like table hai. So write table, table, and stick on the table. Cupboard, write the spelling, stick on the cupboard. So every day child will see the spellings and will learn. So these things, uh, this different types of games you can make on your own, teaching aids you can make at home. There are a lot of informations on available on the net to generalize the learn concept in your environments. Suppose the child is learning words or child is learning any math concept, try to now you have time, and the child is at home, and you can use your kitchen utensils or anything to teach this math concept, so the child will generalize whatever he has learned in the classroom situation. Okay, suppose the child is learning money, so nowadays you just whatever you are bringing from the market, so just take a list and tell child to see the bill and the whatever the rates of the products, and see whether the calculations are proper or no. So the child is applying whatever he is learning. So
Mm-hmm.
something like that. If there is a what you call data collection, that concept is there, so apply that thing in day-to-day life, like the data collection, whatever, so how many clothes, how many shirts you have in your house, how many pants, how many, so, so about the wardrobe you can have a data collection, about the
Mm-hmm.
kitchen utensils you can have a data collection. And then from that,
The
child can
child
make a
can.
picture, yeah,
Right,
make a
right.
picture representation of that.
Mm-hmm.
So all this concept with whatever they are learning, when they learn just sake of learning. But if
Mm.
they use this in the environment, it gives interest, and they are learning more than the more than the concept, and they like things if they are
Right.
doing that way. Even games, you can
Mm-hmm.
make your own board games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as you mentioned that I am a chairperson of Apla Katta, and we do a lot of board games. We teach board games to kids. Okay,
Oh, oh,
so
amazing.
yeah, there are ancient board games as well as outdoor games, and that
Mm-hmm.
we do workshops for the kids. But
Mm-hmm.
here in this situation it is not possible that way. So now you can make your own games, like
Mm.
make a game of different activities, just write down the activities, and like a snake and ladder, you can make just write those activities on the box, in the boxes, and you can play a snake and ladder with the activity wherever the child is. Now that's whatever the activity is there in that box, child has to perform. So something like that, whatever they are learning, just try to uh, apply in
Okay.
day-to-day life and in their environment, so that will
Right.
get generalized, and child will have interest of learning things, and child will develop his potential.
Yeah, yeah. I think that is the thing which we usually miss, because the learning remains in learning time,
Classroom.
right? And the
Yeah.
generalization is lacking. So children also think that when I'm supposed to sit down and study, that time only I'm supposed to use these skills.
Study.
And
Yes.
other
Yes.
times, my parents and the surrounding is supposed to take care of my reading, writing, calculation, and all of those things. And then that's
Correct.
how also I think it becomes very stressful for children. So if everyone is involved in the family, everyone is doing these calculations, everyone is labeling things in the kitchen, in the bedroom for the wardrobe and everything, I think the children will start taking interest in doing these
Yeah.
things.
And they get that lead. They
Mhm.
feel that they are leaders and they have that
Mhm.
responsibilities. So when the responsibilities comes, they definitely perform better. So that way is also very
Truly.
good, so it is improving their personality also.
Mhm.
And as you rightly said, that classroom learning remains with the classroom, and there is no
Mhm.
learning outside the classroom. Now your classroom at your home.
Yes.
So make the good use of it. Whatever the classroom learning, you apply that learning in your home surrounding or your environment.
Mhm. And I guess these are the skills, or these are the things which usually special educators are also doing in the schools, right? So it is, I think, a great opportunity for all of us to sort of take responsibility in overall education, in overall child's education, I must say, and make the most out of it by learning these
Right.
things. And a special educator like you is going to be available for them, right? So
Right.
we will definitely keep your guidance in mind, and I hope the audience is able to reach out to you, and I'm sure, and I hope that they will reach out to you with lots of queries,
Yeah.
and then we can take it ahead. Is there
Sure. Sure.
anything else, ma'am, that you want to add or address to parents or children specifically?
um, First, whatever the issue, whatever the problem your child is facing, understand the problem, accept the problem,
Mm-hmm.
then try to find out the solution of. There are solution for every question. So find
Mm-hmm.
out the solution of the problems. As I told you, you can approach different mental health professionals, and
Mm-hmm.
you can share your problems with them, and together we can make a difference in child's life. And so now inclusive things are happening, so we
Mm-hmm.
are everybody is working hard for that. So don't feel that why me, why my child, why this is
Mm-hmm.
happening only for in my family. So don't think that way. There are many people who are facing different problems in different things. So just come out of this uh, you know shell and talk to people. You will definitely get help, and your child will also grow and do better in life. I have seen many kids with learning disability, with autism, they have performed well and they are doing well in their life.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my child is doing things in animation. The other one is in good in art, so he is doing a diploma in art. Or so they will do things. So don't worry. Only this is the time we have to take little extra effort
Mm-hmm.
than other people, and try to help our kids in general. Okay.
Okay, thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot, ma'am. Thanks for your valuable guidance to us, and we will be
Thank you,
soon.
Sonali. Thank you so much. I definitely like to do awareness, and that's why I've been doing a lot of awareness programs for
Mm-hmm.
parents, for teachers, and we are also doing webinars on in this lockdown. uh, because I feel, as I said rightly, I feel we have to make parents equipped with the knowledge and strategies and
Mm-hmm.
tools, so that they will use the things with their kids. So thank you so much. It's a very good platform. Whatever the work you are doing is really very amazing. Um, and keep doing this good work. All the best to you. Thank you
Yes.
so much,
Thank
Sonali.
you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.